So chapter 3, we're going to be talking about banking services. In this chapter, some of the things that we're going to be talking about are checking accounts, how to reconcile a bank statement, savings accounts, explore compound interest, and the compound interest formula. So we're only covering the first 5 lessons in chapter 3. So 3-1 was all about checking accounts. We're going to understand how checking accounts work and complete a check register. Most of you kind of have an understanding, I believe, at this point on how checking accounts work. So we're just going to go over some of the basics of it. This is something that you are all going to use no matter what you do once you get out of school if you don't already have a checking account. So your key terms, what is a checking account? Checking account is an account at a bank that allows a customer to deposit money, make withdrawals, and make transfers from the funds on deposit. Your next key term is check. What is a check? Well, it's a written order used to tell a bank to pay money, which is to transfer funds from an account to the check holder. Electronic funds transfer, EFT, that means the process of moving funds electronically from an account in one bank to an account in another bank. The payee is the receiver of the transferred funds. The drawer is the account owner of the check. Check clearing, this is a process that happens when a bank pays for a check out of a checking account. A check is cleared when the bank has transferred the funds from the checking account. So when you go and deposit a check, that money sometimes isn't available right away. The bank that you deposited at has to basically call the other bank and get the funds from whoever wrote the check into your account. That's basically how a check is cleared. A deposit slip, this is a form that you fill out when you want to add money into your bank account. Direct deposit is what a lot of people use. I myself use it for my paychecks here at school. I never actually have to go to the bank to deposit money. The bank from Greenville automatically deposits the money that I made into my checking account for me, and I never have to worry about waiting for the money to be there. So direct deposit is payroll or other types of checks that are directly and electronically deposited into a bank account. A hold on your account means the money in the bank account that is held until the issuing bank of a check pays for the check. What does it mean to endorse? Well, when you go and you sign the back of the check when you want to cash it. Canceled means a check that has been processed so that the money is paid to the payee of the check. So once the money is processed and that check is processed, they cancel that check so it no longer has any value to it. The rest of your key terms here. Insufficient funds, when an account does not have enough money to cover a check that has been issued against it. Overdraft protection, this is protection pays a check even though there are not enough funds in the account. There is a fee for this service and the money must be repaid. So it's almost like a loan. An automated teller machine or an ATM, this is where you go and you use your bank card and you can withdraw money out of your bank. You can also make a deposit as long as the ATM that you're using is for the bank that your account is in. You can also transfer money between different accounts. So if you have a checking account or a savings account in one bank and the bank's not open, you can transfer that money using the ATM. You don't have to wait for the bank to be open. Personal identification number, it's your PIN. Usually it's a 4-digit number that gives you access to the ATM. The maintenance fee, some banks charge this on your accounts to provide access to checking or savings accounts. Several banks now offer free checking accounts, so they don't charge you this maintenance fee. Interest, it is a percentage of the money that is in an account that a bank pays on some accounts. So some accounts you can actually earn interest just for having the account with them and keeping a certain amount of money in your account. A single account, this is where there is one owner who is able to make account transactions. Whereas a joint account, if you are not old enough to have your own single account, a joint account requires more than one owner, where all owners have equal access. So many of you that aren't 16 might have a joint account with one of your parents. Check register. This is where you do all the record keeping for your checkbook or your checking account or even a savings account. So all of the transactions here are written down. You have your checks that get written, you have deposits that are made, any fees that you are paid, that you have to pay out, any ATM withdrawals, and continuing of that sort. Debit means that you are withdrawing from a bank account, and credit means that you are depositing into a bank account. So some things to keep in mind. How do people gain access to money they keep in the bank? What are responsibilities of having a checking account? What are the ways that account holders access the money in their checking accounts? Why might a person need overdraft protection? And is overdraft protection a form of a loan from a bank? And why is it important to use a check register? Well, let's go and look through some of these. What are the responsibilities of having a checking account? Well, you need to not spend more than you have in your account, because then you'll end up with insufficient funds and they'll charge you for not having the money in your account. Ways that account holders access the money in their checking accounts: you can write checks, you can go to the ATM, you can do a lot with internet banking now. Overdraft protection, this is to cover unexpected insufficient funds. So if you wrote too many checks, didn't realize it, most banks now will actually cover that for you up to about $500. But after that, they won't cover anymore. But for each time you overdraft, they'll charge you anywhere from $25 to about $35. Is overdraft protection a form of a loan from a bank? Yes, because you actually have to then repay them what you've borrowed from them. And why is it important to use a check register? Well, to accurately keep track of your money. You want to make sure that you're not spending more than you have in your account. So some examples. Allison currently has a balance of $2,300 in her checking account. She deposits a $425.33 paycheck, a $20 rebate check, and a personal check for $550 into her checking account. She wants to receive $200 in cash. How much will she have in her account after the transaction? So what we need to do first, and I'll show you what a deposit slip looks like, is we need to add up all of the amounts that are being deposited, so the checks that she's depositing. So she has $425.33 for her paycheck. She has a $20 rebate check, and she has a personal check for $550. So when we add those all up, we end up with $995.33. But now from that, she wants to get cash back. She wants to have $200 out of all of that back. So she subtracts the cash received, and then the $795.33 is the total that's going to go onto the deposit slip. To figure out how much she has in her account after the transactions, we're going to add the current balance, which is $2,300, and the deposit amount, which is $795.33. So in her account, she will end up with $3,095.33. Here is the deposit ticket. So if we take a look here, we have all of her checks. So we have $425.33, $20, $550. Her subtotal, so it's the sum of all of those checks, is $995.33, less cash received, so she wants $200 back from those deposits, which would bring her down to $795.33, which would go in the total box here. You'll see on the deposit slip, the date is filled in, and because she wants cash back, you have to sign the deposit slip. So check your understanding. Lizzie has a total of X dollars in her checking account. She makes a deposit of B dollars in cash and 2 checks, each worth C dollars. She would like D dollars in cash from this transaction. She has enough to cover the cash received in her account. So express her new checking account balance after the transaction as an algebraic expression. So again, there's no numbers here, but same process. We take what she has in her account, which is X dollars. She makes a deposit of B. We know that deposit is adding to your account. And she's also depositing 2 checks that are each worth C dollars. So I have 2 C's here. And then she would like to take D dollars in cash from this transaction. So she's going to subtract this amount out. When we do that, we have the total that she started with, which was X. She had a B dollar deposit plus 2 checks minus the cash, or D in this case, that she wanted to keep afterwards. So there's your expression. This is a pretty good slide to keep in mind right here. This is a perfect time to pause the video. Nick has a checking account with the Park Slope Savings Bank. He writes both paper and electronic checks. For each transaction, Nick enters the necessary information: check number, date, type of transaction, and amount. He uses E to indicate an electronic transaction. Determine the balance in his account after the Star Cable Company check is written. So here's a check register, or a piece of a check register. So you'll see here that check number 3271 was written on May 5th to DeWitt Auto Body, which was car repair, in the amount of $1,721. So here's how we fill in our check register. He has his beginning balance over here on his check register. So we're going to payment amount. We're going to subtract out $1,721. That goes on the top line. We do the subtraction there. When I take that value and I subtract it from the balance, I end up with a new balance now of $1,951.27. I keep going all the way through. Anything in this payment amount column here, these are all deductions. Anything in the deposit amount over here, these are all additions to his account. So the $3,250 comes out. His new balance is $1,918.77. He had a deposit of $821.53, so we add for a new balance of $2,740.30. He made a payment electronic transfer to Verizon Wireless, so we subtract that value out. He also made electronic transfer to Star Cable Company. We also take that value out. So his final balance, or his current balance in his checking account, is $2,499.90. And we go to the check your understanding. Nick writes a check to his friend James Sloan on May 11th for $150.32. What should he write in the check register, and what should the new balance be? So if we take a look here at what we did on the previous example, you'll see all of what we did earlier was here. Now, what should be the next piece that he writes in here? Well, I need to write the check number, the date, who he made the check out to, and the payment amount. Then I need to deduct it. So 3273, because that's the next check that he writes, on 5/11 to James Sloan for $150.32. Now right here, I am missing the minus $150.32, but here is his ending balance now in his checking account, which is $2,349.58. Here would be another opportunity for you to pause the video. So extend your understanding. Would the final balance change if Nick had paid the cell bill before the wireless bill? Explain. Well, no, there wouldn't be, because you're still doing the subtraction. You're just doing them out of order. But as long as you don't make a mistake when you're doing the subtraction, your answer will be exactly the same. So if we had switched the $101.50 and the $138.90, we still end up with a balance in there of $2,499.90. So there is your lesson 3-1.